All right, y'all, we're back at it. And today, what I'm going to be starting is really the first big production of items to start selling wood-turned goods. I'm feeling really practiced in doing that, but it's the first time that I've kind of made multiples of something. I'm hoping to make around 20 pen cups. This is a part of a collaboration with my friend Sam, who is a singer-songwriter, and his band, his group is called Hello Emerson. When he heard I was starting a business, suggested that we do a collaboration. Sam has a bit of a following on Instagram with the journaling community, or journaling Instagram. Journaling is something that Sam does, and through his band page has gained quite a following, sharing how he journals, and he suggested that I make some pen cups to promote my business and kind of share out the things that he does with his band. So yeah, that's what I'm going to work on today. I feel like it's really generous of Sam to help me out while I'm really just getting started and engage with his community of people who might be interested in getting a special little pen cup from me. I think that I'm going to be making the pen cups out of apple wood mostly. I just had a bunch of logs that I procured from different sources, but my friends had a bunch of apple wood from a tree that they had to get removed, and I've ended up with it. I've never turned apple wood before. Smaller logs here are apples. They have some splits in them, which I will need to work around, but I don't think that will be too much of an issue. We'll take a look at it a little bit more while I'm picking out the logs. I'm also kind of deciding how I want to do this, if I want to do one at a time, or maybe have more of a process where I get all of the blanks ready. The blanks are just kind of what you put on the lathe when you first get started turning. So I'll probably do that. I haven't made things in such a large quantity, so I don't really know what that takes, but there's only one way to find out. Yeah, see, this one's got some big, nasty splits in it. Oh, wheel locks are good. Yeah, this one is gonna have to work around those a little bit. But again, that's part of the fun of the foraged and gifted logs. Well, hopefully fun. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So these logs seem like a good start. Again, I don't really know how many this will make. I'm going to start with some of these maybe kinder pieces, and by kinder I mean just kinder to make my blanks. So the things that I will just put on the lathe when I start. Especially this guy. Minimal cracks, nice and straight. I also just kind of want to feel what it's like to turn the apple wood. We'll start with this one. It's kind of cool. It has some like bug boring holes in them. Might be cool if those go through. Looks like this log will just barely fit in my bandsaw, which is good. If not, we'll use the chainsaw. Doesn't need to be the whole length of the pencil or pen. Let's see, this is about 1/2 foot. So I think I might do 1/2 foot lengths of wood here. See if I can cut 2 more blanks. This one, yep, it's about a foot long.
Couch sits caddy corner by the door, and the breeze blows in through the old bay window and shouts out yesterday.
All right, now that I have these cut, I'm going to, we're going to set up the lathe.
It says just strum these chords and I'm sure you'll find love, my boy.
Tricky. I'd love to get 2 cups out of this, but I don't know if that's possible. That's okay. I can use the other bit of wood for something else. It is not a waste. Still lots of good lumber. Actually, I'm gonna go inside and measure a ball jar, because I feel like that I use those a lot as pen cups, things like that. I'm gonna measure that. I shall return. So this is about 2.5 inches. So I would, needs to be bigger than that, right? It's because the walls are gonna take up some width as well. So I think it needs a 3-inch diameter total, which is kind of what I was doing. Radius being 1.5 inches. Yep, 3 inches. I feel like the first one is always going to be the hardest one. My prototype. This side here is what I will need to cut off. I can always make it into a little dish or something like that. But this side over here is what I'll need. So we're going to take it back over to the bandsaw and cut off this chunk here. So this is what I'm hoping my blanks kind of look like. Cut off most of the edges on the bandsaw so that when I turn it, I don't have to take off quite as much material. For now, I'm going to make this first one on screen, on camera, and then, yeah, we'll see what it's like to make just like 1 million of these. Not 1 million. I'm hoping 20, but if it doesn't seem manageable, then I will do less.
Better, but I'm fine. Roughed up, but alright.
Okay, let's rough this thing out. Get it centered. See how that goes. Let's go.
Lighten up, that's a joke round here. We're all a little slower than we were last year, but my head's on straight with the Velcro brace. And my heart is more Midwestern than the look on my face. Oh.
Cool. Now that I have this roughed out, balanced on the lathe, I'm going to make it so it can fit on the chuck.
I've seen worse things in life.
It is a little bit intimidating because in making one, I'm realizing how much it will take to make lots of these. But again, I'm trying to remind myself that this is the first one. It's a prototype. I don't think I've made something like this before. The apple is seeming nice to turn. Not as hard as some of the other things that I've turned, but in general, it's kind of cool. I'm hoping, yeah, that once I make this first one, I'll feel good about kind of the others that will come.
And every time we brush
Heck yeah. Super happy with the look of that. I really like just the elegant base going down. This is exciting. I really like the grain too. It's kind of this two-toned darker side here. And then kind of like this lighter side here. This is awesome.
It's looking pretty dire. Could come right down to the wire, and I don't want to say goodbye alone. So get some sleep, make some coffee, and hit the road. Drive up tomorrow.
Awesome. Let's flip this around. Man, I really hope that's enough of a foot to hold on to.
But if not, I'm gonna need to see my son. I'm driving on the highway, crying northward, praying you'll be there when I pull up. In the campus parking nightmare feels more corrupt than healthcare when I swipe my credit card to see my dad.
Trying to get a little bit more width. It's kind of going more like a cone. Love to get some more width down at the bottom. But other than that, feeling good about it.
Hold my breath and echo down the hall.
Work on the outside of this cup, make the top of it a little bit more rounded, and then we're off to sanding land, which I find very satisfying.
I see every song unspooling, rearranging and retuning till they settle on the only things we know. We live and we die, and in between we grow. I only drink high fructose on occasion. I trade it all.
Just realized I didn't set up, I usually have a shop vac going when I sand because all the fine particulate just gets everywhere and I can see it everywhere. Future cups though. All right, y'all. Feeling good about this. Love the way it's looking. This wood grain is surprisingly beautiful. I did not know how much was hidden in that apple log piece that I was working with. Yeah, to be a little bit transparent, I do feel a little bit daunted by this. In thinking about it, definitely going to move forward with kind of doing things in chunks. Pretty much just doing bulk processing rather than making one cup of it at a time. I do need to remind myself that this is still really new, and also this is the first time I've made this shape. So I also had to learn. Now that I have the dimensions of everything, I think, at least I'm hoping, it will go a little bit quicker. Things will take time. I know they will. But it is a little bit intimidating. Yes. At this point, I still need to create my online store, which hopefully now you can go to goodturner.com and purchase one of these. That's the goal of this video. But I still need to do that as of now. But for now, it should be up. So go there and buy one of these cups. Yeah, I'm still discovering what the work is looking like. And it is hard for me to, yeah, it's just a new thing. I'm gonna have to do it. That's the only way through it. I also have a handy person job tomorrow. And I'm going out to do a bit of an estimate, and then it's just a drywall repair job. Shouldn't be too hard, but it is exciting. It's my first handy person job that I'm getting paid for. So that's pretty cool. So that'll be in the middle of my day, but I'll probably come back and chug away at these. We'll see how that goes. soon.
When we go out to the church and we file in the pews, saw an older man with silk soft hands could tell us what to do. I try to fold my hands like a good young Catholic can.
Hello. It's been a couple of days since I filmed the beginning of this video, and I've gotten a good amount of work done. I've been kind of apprehensive, I guess, I don't know, I feel like, okay, just gonna start at the beginning. I think I want to honor that kind of first idea that I had and just show things how it actually is as I go. I got done after the past couple of days of work, kind of being like, okay, how am I going to show this process and want it to kind of be this like hyper curated thing? And I just don't think that's my vibe. I think that the more that I think about showing things online, I'm concerned about kind of it coming across a certain way, and that is the opposite of what I actually want this to be. Again, going back to kind of that first video of like, what does it genuinely look like, and what does it take for me to show up here and be real with myself and accept that these things are a part of the process. And by these things, I mean just everything that happens. So as a part of that, I'm going to lean into it and just kind of show you and tell you about how it's been going. Generally, I think it's been going okay. I have a lot of nerves still about what does this look like long term, or at least medium term, I guess. I have to be willing to kind of just go out on a limb because I've never done something like this before. But I think I have a good metaphor. These are what the blanks look like. So this will grab onto the lathe and this will start being the cup that I turn. So there are ones like this, where this is, in terms of how things could go, pretty spot on for the cup that I'm making. And yeah, it's looking awesome. But then also there are ones like this. Yeah, this one kind of has this big knot that is in it, and I can see some cracks here. I might be able to work around that by shaping the cup a certain way, but I feel like these cups, I've been thinking about them as a representation of what I want to show. And I think that there's this expectation that, or maybe expectation I'm putting on myself, but also just kind of how things are, is this kind of being like, I have it put together. I'm confident. I'm able to make things like this. It's pristine. It's going according to plan, where that is just kind of not how things actually operate. It's awesome when this happens, and there's nothing wrong with this being the goal, but it's just not the reality of where I am now, but also of how new things go. I don't think it's bad to be confident, and but I also think that this is equally valid and is a part of the process of being unsure, having some imperfections, and just kind of embracing where I'm at. I think that this is actually embracing more of what I want the Good Turner business to be like, and just kind of creatively what I'm interested in. I love the idea that I'm showing the misfit pieces of wood that otherwise, I mean, this would have just been firewood. And what I love so much about turning things and why I've been getting into collecting the lumber and the wood is embracing the kind of how this tree became and what makes it unique, and being okay with those living on the cup and it telling more of a story than this one. And this is going to be beautiful. It's going to be an awesome cup, but I love the idea that this thing has more character, is not adhering to some expectation, and just embracing where it is. I can't change this thing. Of course, if I put it on the lathe and it cracked and no longer was a functional cup, I would not sell this. But I kind of want to remember that this is my goal, to not fight the material, but really embrace why it's so beautiful. I'm actually kind of hoping that as I turn this crack here is kind of like a void in the side of the cup. I'm hoping it comes out. Again, if it explodes on the lathe and falls apart, it does need to have some function. Yes. So things are looking like this. A little bit messy, a little bit unsure, but also interesting. I think that's what makes it interesting. I'm going to show some B-roll, I guess, of my workspace right now. I woke up this morning, I was like, I have to get like things picked up so I can shoot more videos. But this is what the process is. It's the piles of wood on the floor. It's the sawdust everywhere. It's it being 20 degrees right now and having a little space heater here. I will say today's quest is getting my wood stove. Pretty stoked about that. That part of me that wants to clean things up and make things really curated and present some kind of image to you all is this. That's just a part of the process. This is just one part of it. In fact, I think that most of people's lives and processes look like this: the messiness, the imperfections, and I think we need to be able to show those things. It makes things more human, and I actually think that showing an honest look at that unsure state of things is how we operate as people. We have to not power through, but acknowledge that fear, but not let it stop us at the same time. I can't be in the garage anymore. It's so cold. So stoked to get a fire or a wood stove in here. I'll see you on the other side of that experience, and I'll keep chugging along on these cups. See you there. See you here. So I've been so charmed by my chimney. I don't know what it is. I love being outside and looking at it. Also, my favorite thing is to go inside my house while the stove is heating up and look at the little smoke billowing out while my garage is getting warm.
I look at you, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I just take a seat in the corner. When you're coming to, every single time you're just like new. We tell you where you are, why we're with you.
Finally got my fire up and roaring, and welcome to a new segment that I like to call Turner's Fireside Chats. It's been a few days since my last kind of filming on this project. I had my first official handy person job doing some drywall repair, which was awesome. I haven't done much filming since then because I really wanted to focus on that. And I didn't do much filming on that job just because while the task of doing drywall is not new to me, you know, working with people, being in their home, how long it takes me, that's a whole learning process. The time that it takes to pack up my car and drive to the place that I'm going to do the work, getting things out, setting up, and then actually doing the job. And then at the end, you have to clean up. You have to return the state of the home back to where it was. And I feel like that's such a big and important part about making someone's home more comfortable, is not just doing the job, but making it inviting to be back in the space. I'm also trying to not to rush myself too much or hit a certain deadline. I think that I was putting a little bit of pressure on myself during the filming of this video. It's around Christmas holidays, winter holiday times, and I think I was feeling this kind of like I wanted to get done for that season so people could buy my cups, but the timing of starting the business was just kind of odd, and it seems kind of arbitrary to make that goal happen if I'm stretching myself too thin. And the whole reason I started this business was to not feel that pressure and not feel like I have to be crunching and grinding and giving myself the space to work when it feels good to work. And obviously there are times where you have to kind of buckle down and get things done, and working in timelines and operating in timelines is certainly a good thing. Like the job I just did, you know, I told them it would get done in a couple of days, and it did. But at the same time, you need to look out for yourself and the energy that you're expending. And yeah, so today we're going to see how that feels. Start turning some cups. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, the stove. I put that in. That's a new thing since the start of filming this video. My last video is about that. Yeah, so I'm going to turn some cups. We'll see how long it takes me. Again, not feeling like I need to be in too much of a rush. I have time over the next couple of days to be a cup person, making cups. But I might just sit here a little bit longer and finish my coffee, because this is feeling really nice. And I'm gonna do that, not on camera, and just sit here in silence.
Sticky note by the basement stairs.
Okay.
Go down there.
See you after turning some cups.
One more time he could vanish. She drives him down in drywall with a slender old dark nail. Doubtless picked up some years back, a steal at a yard sale. It'll take some time till he goes for a drive. Hems and haws and haggles hard till the price is right. It could be years or hopes and fears. Doing everything we can to keep him here. To keep him here.
Yo, thanks for watching what went into making my first big batch of wood-turned items. I'm super happy with how they turned out, and I wanted to share this one. This is that one cup that I kind of used as an analogy for how I wanted to be genuine with what I'm doing and how I'm spending my time. This is how it turned out. It's super cool. I was able to keep that knot in the side, and there are some little voids that you can see through still, but yeah, just they are so much more beautiful than I thought they would be, and just by embracing that natural beauty of them and honoring these natural grains, I feel like I was able to make something really unique. At first I was really apprehensive, but I think this is what I was looking for. And I've found that with a lot of the art that I make is that leaning into those natural qualities or just what feels honest is actually kind of what allows people to connect with each other. Yeah, the more that I make things, the more that I want that connection to happen. Speaking of connection, I also want to give my friend Sam a shout out again. If you liked the music in this video, it came from this album. Sam is a friend of mine. He lives less than a mile away from me, and he has this group called Hello Emerson, and all the music that you heard was off of his album To Keep Him Here. You can find that at helloemerson.com. There's a bunch of vinyl that he has, or you can find Sam's music and Hello Emerson's music on Spotify. You can come check that out. Sam is someone who really is big on community, and especially on the local level. Even this vinyl, we happen to live down the street from a place that still presses vinyl. He lives even closer to that place, and he had this pressed here. And Sam is someone who will host a lot of bands at his house who are coming through doing tours. If these videos can do anything, I think that I really want them to be something that demonstrates how people are really operating and making art on a local level. Sam is someone who really is doing that in the music scene here. A little bit more about this album. This album is about Sam's dad. This guy here, David. He went through a accident that left him with some brain damage and kind of doesn't remember the experience. Things are a little fuzzy. He's very much a recovered human now, but this album shares not only David's experience with that accident, but also Sam and his family. So it's really kind of looking through Sam's eyes of what it's like to grieve with your family and to care for each other. The messaging of it, I really appreciate. It's something that's, I think we could all share in. Maybe you haven't had that direct experience, but the feeling of grief, but also holding space with your family. And again, being with your community of people. I think Sam is someone who, that's kind of at the heart of a lot of his music. Here's a little baby Sam. All of his lyrics. I love Sam's lyrics. There's lots of language and word usage in here that makes it very approachable and real. Check it out. I would love for you to get a cup, but if what you need to take away from this right now is just what it takes to start something or learning from me, I'm so stoked on that. And go to my website, goodturner.com, and buy these cups. If I run out, I'll make more. If not, I'll make something else. Reach out if you have questions. Thanks for being a part of my journey through the Good Turner business and making something new. See you here.